Alright, what's up y'all? So today we're going to be installing the Dana 60, the front axle. We've already removed our Dana 30. You guys probably know how to do that, so I didn't really make a video for it. And whenever I pulled that one out, I started to think that we should probably add some reinforcement on the control arms just so they don't break off, since they're just tack welded on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But yep, the Dana 30's out. All you have to do is disconnect all the control arms, sway bar, steering linkage, and brakes, ABS, sway bars, and I'm pretty sure that's in the track bar, and that's just about it. Alright guys, so right now we're just going to be welding it out. We're going to take our time on everything so we don't warp anything. And I think the most likely way to warp it is whenever you're welding on this tube. I don't think you're going to warp it from welding on the truss up here and underneath it, but still just let it cool and just take it slow. Alright guys, now we're going to wait for that stuff to cool, and we're going to do the same process. Now we're going to go ahead and wait for that to cool again. What's up YouTube? So today we're going to be welding out the cast on this, and I tried to get a video of me welding both the axles out. My machine went down, so I had to go to my buddy's house, and so my camera died while I was recording it. So I'm just going to tell you what I did, but all you want to do is stagger your welds. So you want to put a weld down here, like 1 or 2 beads, and then jump to the other side, do that, and then you can hop onto the other axle and put like 2 on one side and then 2 on the other side, and just make sure it doesn't ever get hot. I did that and waited about 15 minutes for every weld to cool after I did it on one side. But I didn't weld the whole entire piece out. Like, let me make it so you guys can see this. But I did like stitch welds where it's not all the way through, especially onto the tubing of the axle. And then I didn't even weld all of the inside of that, just one right there. And then same thing with the truss, the upper spots. But we just stitch welded the whole entire thing. The bump stops, I just put welds on the insides. That control arm I put quite a bit of weld on. But I didn't continuously weld the whole entire thing. I just did a section, and then I'd wait for it to cool, and then I'd come back to it. But that's how we do it. And now we're going to weld the cast. I did the front axle, my camera died. We're going to try to do this rear a little bit better. I'm going to try to put a bead all about 6 inches long, and it's kind of hard. And I did that front one all by myself. So we're going to try to do this with 2 people. Alright guys. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start preheating it. We're just going to do this section right in here. And we're using this to check temperature. We're getting it to 500 degrees. Right, sir, grab the heat. Heat? The heat, yeah. Leave it on. Press that button down top. Right here. Press this in. Hold it. You don't have to hold the button anymore. Press it in and press that down. Can you hit it right here? Ready? Alright, stop. Grab that tip and hammer for me. What? Hand me that tip and hammer. Giving it heat back there. So we cooled it down to about 100 degrees, and it doesn't look pretty because we beat it with that chip and hammer for extra strength. But that's all we're going to put on that side. Now we're going to go to the other side and do the same process. Another thing is we went ahead and welded out the whole entire axle, and I didn't do that all on video because I was at my buddy's house and my machine broke, and then my battery died on my camera. But on the cast, if you look at the weld, it doesn't look pretty. We beat it with a hammer, a chipping hammer, so it added strength to it. And I just put one right there. Probably should have put more of them, but I did one on that side and one on the other side right where that control arm links to it. And then I had one crack, but we can always add more. Everything's welded out, and it took me like 6 or 7 hours to weld it out, so I kept waiting for everything to cool. But let's go ahead and put it on. Alright, now we're going to do the other side. We already greased the bushings up. You can start it.
Did.
Alright, so I took my control arm completely off. And we're going to just go ahead and connect it to the axle first and see how this works out. Can you push this? It's almost there. Alright. Alright. We go back to the other side and keep fooling with it till we get it in. Alright guys, so we got the front axle installed and I didn't get all of it on video. The only problems I had was trying to hook up the 4-link, the upper control arms. I had to take completely off of the Jeep and attach it to the axle first, and that's what I started with whenever I bolted it up, the upper control arms. I started with them bolted to the axle, and then I'd put them to the frame of the Jeep, and then I did the lower control arms, and those, you just kind of got to line them up. It took 2 people. I had a friend help me, and we got it installed, and then put the track bar on. And once you get everything on, and then I also put the forward of steering linkage, and it still fit into the steering on the Jeep right there. That's just running the OEM one, and I gotta adjust it a little bit. I haven't done that yet. Nothing's tight, it's all loose. And the ball joint, put all this stuff on, the hubs. And the hubs I used are the ones from Curry Enterprise, and I got actually locking hubs too that go on the ends. Haven't put those on yet because they didn't come with all the parts, so I called them up and they sent me some for free, and I'm waiting on them. So that's why I haven't put the actual Warren locking hubs. That's what I'm using. And these have the sensors in them. They're from Curry Enterprise or Industries, and the sensor plugs right into it. But for the most part, it fit pretty good. We haven't hooked up the sway bar yet, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. And to get your pinion angle at the right, wherever you want it, it's supposed to be at 0 degrees. For the front, you're just gonna have to get your wheels and tires on. Just make sure the Jeep isn't on a jack or whatever. You have to put an angle finder on your differential, like right here. Put an angle finder right here, and you want it to get really close to 0 degrees or just at 0 degrees. So you're just gonna have to adjust your control arms and do all that till you get it where you want it. I haven't done that yet because I'm working on the rear right now, but I just wanted to show you guys how it came out. Another thing, these brake lines, they screwed right into my old ones for the, I just used this Ford brake lines, and they just plugged right into it. So I didn't have any problems there.